600 years old, 240 pages, written in a language that exists nowhere on Earth. The codebreakers who beat the Nazi and Japanese war codes all tried to read it. All failed. Tonight, the book takes the stand. New Haven, Connecticut. Inside a vault at Yale University sits a book with no title, no author, and, for 6 centuries, no readers. Roughly 240 pages of animal skin parchment, filled edge to edge with flowing, confident writing, in an alphabet that matches no language ever spoken. Around the words, plants that grow nowhere on Earth, star charts that map no known sky, pools of green water joined by strange plumbing. It looks like it should mean something. That is the trap, and it has swallowed brilliant minds for a century. Tonight, this book goes on the board as evidence. 2 things to hold on to. First, exactly 1 page of this book can almost be read, and what it says makes everything worse. Second, on the very first page, a machine found hidden writing no living I had seen in centuries. And fair warning, this case will not end where you expect. Open the evidence bag. The Voynich Manuscript, named after the dealer who found it, is smaller than a modern hardcover. Vellum, fine calfskin parchment, and in 2009, scientists carbon dated that skin to the early 1400s. This is not a modern forgery. The pages hold over 170,000 characters, building something like 38,000 words, written in roughly 20 to 25 core symbols that scholars call Voynichese. Here's what stops the experts cold. The writing flows. No hesitation, almost no corrections, page after page, fluent in a language that officially does not exist. The book splits into sections. A plant section, 113 drawings of plants that botanists cannot identify. An astronomy section, spinning wheels of stars and zodiac signs. A section of small figures bathing in green pools, joined by impossible plumbing. And a final section, more than 300 short paragraphs, each marked with a star. A pharmacy? A star guide? A gardener's handbook from a world that isn't ours? Nobody knows, because nobody can read a single line. Where has it been for 600 years? Follow the trail. Prague, around 1600. The court of Rudolf II, the emperor who collected wonders, astronomers, alchemists, unicorn horns. The story goes that Rudolf paid 600 gold ducats for this one book, believing it was written by the medieval genius Roger Bacon. From his court, the book passes hand to hand. The emperor's pharmacist, whose erased signature still hides on page 1. An alchemist, who spends decades failing to read it. And a university rector named Marcy, who mails it to Europe's most famous code expert, Athanasius Kircher, in Rome. The letter begging Kircher to crack it survives, dated 1665 or 66. Even the date is unclear. Remember the rector's name, Marcy. After that letter, the book all but vanishes from the record for roughly 250 years. Until 1912, when rare book dealer Wilfred Voynich buys a trove of old manuscripts from a Jesuit college near Rome and lifts out the strangest object he has ever seen. He dies still trying to solve it, and the century of failure is just beginning. Now the professionals arrive. Attempt 1, 1921. William Newbold, a respected American professor, announces he's cracked it. Hidden microscopic shorthand inside each letter, he says. Proof that Roger Bacon built telescopes and microscopes centuries early. Headlines worldwide. Then colleagues check the microscopic marks. They're not writing, just cracks and aging ink. His solution collapses, dismantled, point by point, after his death. Failed. Attempt 2. William Friedman, the American who led the team that shattered Japan's purple cipher. A machine cipher considered unbreakable. Friedman gathers elite study groups, punches the text onto IBM cards in the 1940s, and works the problem across 4 decades. His final verdict was sealed, and we'll open that envelope at the end because it's the best clue in this case. Failed for now. Attempt 3. John Tiltman, one of Bletchley Park's greatest minds, the man who broke into Hitler's top-secret teleprinter cipher. He puts years into Voynichese and walks away calling it unlike any cipher he has ever met. Failed. The sharpest minds in code-breaking history. 0 sentences read, and the reason is stranger than any of them expected. To study a book nobody can read, you need patience, a quiet desk, and a good candle. Pull up a chair, hit subscribe, and let's open this case file together. Here's the detail everyone misses. The reason this book eats geniuses. It's not that Voynichese looks meaningless. It's the opposite. It looks too meaningful. Run the statistics, and the text obeys the deep patterns of real human language. Common words appear often, rare words rarely. The exact curve real languages follow. Zoom out. The plant pages talk differently from the star pages, the way a real book changes vocabulary by topic. Modern analysis even shows multiple hands, several scribes, sharing one writing system, fluently. That kills the simplest explanation, one lonely madman scribbling nonsense. But now the trap snaps shut, because in other ways, Voynich behaves like no language on Earth. Words eerily regular, as if built from a formula. Letters locked in fixed positions, as if every word came from the same kit. Words repeating side by side, as real sentences almost never allow. So, too structured to be gibberish, too alien to be language, too fluent to be a cipher clerk encoding letter by letter. Every class of attack, language, cipher, hoax, breaks on one of those three rocks, and it's where the machines enter the story. Which brings us to the modern era, the age of solved headlines. 2017. A British historian announces in a famous literary magazine, it's abbreviated Latin, a women's health manual. Within days, medieval experts tear the solution apart. The translations don't even match the pictures. Failed. 2019. A British academic claims it's a lost proto-Romance language, and his university proudly announces the mystery is solved, then quietly takes down its own press release days later, after linguists worldwide push back. Failed. There have been dozens more. Aliens, angels, Old Turkish, an ancient Mexican language. Every few years a new solution goes viral, and each one dies the same death. It works on one page and collapses on the next. Remember the trap. The book looks like it should mean something, so people find the meaning they came looking for. Which is why, when researchers handed the problem to machines that don't care what the answer looks like, things got interesting. First, Loop 1. One place in this book can almost be read, the very last page. A few scrawled lines mixing medieval German and Latin letters with Voynich symbols. People hoped it was the key. It isn't. It reads like a broken charm, and it makes everything worse. Whoever wrote it could write normal letters, and chose not to. Now the machines. 2018. Headlines worldwide. Artificial intelligence has decoded the manuscript. The truth? Researchers trained an algorithm on 380 languages and asked for Voynich's closest match. Top answer, Hebrew. But the translations needed heavy human help. Even the researchers urged caution, and experts pushed back. Not decoded. Failed with a footnote. Because quieter machine studies keep finding the same thing. This text carries the statistical fingerprints of real language. Almost certainly not random gibberish. Then, the twist this case was waiting for. 2014. Scientists photograph 10 pages in invisible light. The images sit unpublished for 10 years. When a scholar finally releases them, in 2024, page 1 lights up. 3 faded columns, invisible for centuries. The alphabet, A to Z, lined up against Voynich's, a decoding table. It isn't the key. The substitutions come out as nonsense. But the handwriting, the scholar argues it matches a man we've met. The rector, Marcy, the man who mailed this book to Rome, had secretly tried to crack it and failed. Centuries before us. The first page held a secret, just not the one anyone wanted. Verdict time. Open Friedman's envelope, the sealed opinion of the greatest codebreaker America ever produced, published only after his death. His conclusion: after 40 years, the manuscript is likely an early attempt at a constructed language, one built from scratch, by design. Not a cipher hiding a message. A system of meaning we've never met. Put everything on the board. The skin is genuinely 600 years old. The text behaves like language, but matches none. Multiple scribes wrote it fluently. Every named solution has collapsed. The best modern analysis says, not random gibberish, not a simple code. Something in between, something built. Could it still be a hoax? Only a hoax of genius. One that fooled mathematics itself for 600 years. So here is the honest verdict. This channel doesn't fake endings. Unsolved. Not aliens. Not any day now. After 600 years, the scoreboard reads, the book, everyone. 0 sentences read. But Unsolved is not unknowable. The vellum gave up its age. The first page gave up its ghosts. The statistics gave up the shape of a mind at work. The book is talking. We just don't speak its language, yet. So maybe the real wonder isn't the code. It's the author. 600 years ago, somebody, or several somebodies, sat down with expensive calfskin, good ink, and a steady hand, and filled more than 200 pages with a system of meanings so complete, so consistent, that the smartest species on the planet has spent a century failing to break in. Whoever they were, they never signed it. They never explained it. They vanished and left behind the only kind of ghost that's real, a voice still speaking in a language only they ever knew. If you believe a mystery deserves evidence, not just a good story, you're one of us. Cast your verdict in the comments. One word: language, cipher, or hoax. I'll pin the best argument. And subscribe to Vanished. The next case file is already open. Another place, another disappearance, another trail gone quiet. The case continues, right here.